When I first started reselling, I sold on eBay all the time. In fact, my best year ever on eBay was $300,000 in sales as a secondary platform. But 4 years ago, I quit. And I haven't been back since. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about why. I'm gonna talk about all the secondary platforms we have used over time and why, after 4 years, I'm coming back to eBay. This right up ahead is our brand new eBay inventory storage shelving. This is something we just had to put up in order to start selling on eBay, is once we have stuff listed, where the heck are we going to put it? Because up until this point, we just list all of our inventory on Amazon and then ship it out to them as soon as it's done. So we need a storage solution, and I think we've done a fairly good job, at least as a version 1. You can see we've got a ton of like sealed PS5 stuff in here, a bunch of like special edition Switch games. We've got some CIB, NES, like it's good stuff that we've been putting on eBay, and it's been selling really fast. I wanna say we have almost 200 actively listed items, and we've already sold like 97. So stuff is flying off of our shelves. I'm taking offers like crazy, but it begs the question, why now? But in order to answer that, I'm gonna have to take you guys back in time a little bit to meet this guy. This is 26-year-old Caleb, and actually, I just realized we've got the exact same photo set up right in the background there, just a little bit of a different background. Because 5 years ago in my reselling journey, as we enter my shed over here, you can see I was selling everything from running shoes to action figures, toys. Look at that, what is that, an inflatable pool? We've got boots, comic books, golf clubs. It was absolute chaos. And in order to sell everything, you need to sell on a platform where you can list anything that you want. And that basically is eBay. Oh my gosh. Today I have something a little bit different. What was I doing? Do not go back and watch the oldest videos on the Phoenix Resale channel, folks. That's rough. So in the early history of Phoenix Resale, because I was sourcing so much at pawn shops and at yard sales and picking up a bunch of random stuff, eBay was a great supplementary platform for me. I would sell everything that I could on Amazon, but I would estimate that maybe 30 to 50% of my overall sales were on eBay at the time. But then something interesting happened. Actually, a couple things happened at the same time. One is the channel started to grow, and two, another platform came onto the market called Whatnot. Whatnot was especially interesting for me as a video game reselling YouTuber because I could kind of triple dip in terms of the revenue I could make, because anytime I referred someone to the platform, I would get a small payout. And anytime they would sponsor a video, I would get paid on that as well. And then I could host a show and sell all of my random inventory that I couldn't probably move on Amazon and then get paid for that as well. People at the time sometimes speculated that the reason that I sold so much on Whatnot was because I could get a premium for items above their standard market value by selling to viewers on Whatnot. And that was true for maybe the first couple weeks when there was a lot of buzz, a lot of hype, and the shows were filled with a ton of new viewers. But for most of my tenure, I would say maybe 2 to 3 years that I spent consistently doing Whatnot shows, we averaged maybe 80 to 90% of market value. So it wasn't for the premium on the items, it was that you can make multiple kinds of revenue with just one show. And while that was great while it lasted, as the business started to grow, I started to realize, wow, these shows, between listing and actively presenting and hosting the shows and then shipping everything out afterwards, while some of those tasks I'm able to delegate, some of them I have to be physically present for, and that cost over time ended up being a little bit too high. So I pivoted to a different platform called Encore. Now, Encore is a platform that's very similar to Whatnot in that all of the listings involve videos, but it's different in that it's not live. So I wasn't actually physically required to be there for the sale of every item, which for me was a huge plus, because the more this business grows, the more I have to focus on things like recruiting and training and building systems and marketing. So the less I have to be directly involved in the sale of every single item, the better. And Encore, just like Whatnot and eBay, was an excellent platform and served our needs very well. The only reason that we couldn't continue it eventually is we noticed that the percentage of market value that we were getting on average for items just wasn't quite where we needed it to be. We were averaging maybe like 60-ish, sometimes a little bit lower % of market value, which then when you take out fees and shipping, just left us with not enough meat on the bone. So even though it was an awesome platform that made listing really efficient for us, that I also could delegate to one of my team members, Logan was the one mostly doing that one as well, ultimately we just weren't able to put enough dollars back into our pocket at the end of the day to justify the labor, which left me asking for all of these items in this business that either don't sell in store because we've already got a case full of, for example, complete Game Boy games, or Sega Saturn and Sega CD games, or high dollar disc only stuff that will just sit and sit and sit, and we also can't list on Amazon. What do we do with these items, and how can we possibly maximize the number of dollars that we're gaining on each one, which left me finally crawling all the way back to good old eBay. But before I talk too much about our eBay strategy, let's go ahead and talk to Logan, who has been heading up our eBay efforts for the last couple weeks. Ryan, I could use some feedback. Do you have a second?
Sure.
Okay, concept one. Jeff, you want to give feedback too?
What is this?
Come on over here. These are concepts for a potential store mascot.
Oh, okay.
So we have one concept which is Flippy, which is some sort of a video game related anthropomorphic item. So this is the first one. Okay, so we got an N64 cartridge. Then we've got Super Nintendo controller.
Are these going to be in color or black and white?
Yeah, these are just sketches.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'm talking to like an actual artist. These I just generated, but for the finals, we'll have a good version. I just want to figure out like kind of a direction before that. GameCube, true to our roots. But then Odin had a suggestion. Well, what if we had some sort of animal and we could call him Flipper? So I did a couple more concepts.
Like a dolphin?
Or platypus.
Of a platypus
Platypus works.
is the first one. This is a Pliosaurus. So a little extinct mascot. Or the last one, a seal.
Hate that one the most.
Okay, don't like the seal. You like the seal though.
I like the seal.
Okay,
It would be
The
Flipper.
platypus,
I like
but that's
that.
because it was very unique.
what are your reactions in general? Most favorable, least favorable?
I like the Super NES controller and the platypus.
Super NES and
I like
platypus?
the platypus because
Okay.
it was just unique, and then
Okay.
probably honestly the cartridge.
The only thing I'm on the fence about with an N64 cartridge is it would be gray.
Oh yeah.
Or we could make it quick flips green, but then it's a little less recognizable. And if we did something like this, it could be cool because you could have the controller be the same color as normal, but maybe the buttons are quick flips green.
Yeah.
That could be kind of, what did you think, Abby?
What if he had a pet platypus?
That's
Like I get a
something.
real platypus here?
No.
Okay,
No.
Like the
wait,
controller has a sidekick.
Yeah.
the controller has a platypus.
Yes.
His little friend.
You thought I
Okay,
just meant to buy a
Flippy,
platypus?
Flippy and Flipper.
Yes.
Yes.
Holy
I like
cow,
that.
okay.
That's a
That
good
works,
idea.
Yeah, that's a good
We got a plush and a mini plush.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Shina also gave an idea, which was a green phoenix. What do you guys think?
She's staring at me. So
I feel like for the store, it needs to be its own thing.
I think so too. I don't want to cross-contaminate too much.
yeah.
No offense, Shina. People definitely favor the platypus. People
Yeah.
seem to laugh when they see it.
You could even give him like a little quick flip shirt.
What if we reversed it? What if it was a platypus, but he's holding a video game controller?
That's
Also
also
good.
alive.
Wait, it's also
A video game controller, that would be
face.
Flipper holding Flippy. Are the little buttons on the side of an arcade machine called flippers as well on a pinball machine?
Yes,
Yes,
those are
yeah.
flippers. Correct.
Maybe there's some tie in there as well. An arcade machine that has a face called
That could
Flipper.
scare the children.
That's probably true.
That's fair.
So for the last couple weeks or so, Logan has now been listing usually up to 50 items a day on eBay. What are some of the things that in that time you've learned about like the eBay process?
Growing up, I had this like preconceived notion of like what eBay was kind of as like an auction platform. And now I'm kind of realizing that it's more of like a marketplace akin to Amazon, whatnot, stuff like that.
Yeah, like that most of the listings are buy it now rather than
Yeah.
auctions.
And eBay is like kind of like, I don't want to say like a dump all for like everything, but kind of a dump all for everything. Like
It
I've
is,
seen
especially like the highly collectible items, like our random manuals or like CIB retro, like cardboard stuff.
Yeah. You can like honestly sell anything on eBay. I used to do a lot of Encore before we transitioned over to eBay. And one item we sold recently was the Stunt Racer manual. And that's something that would have never done well, in my opinion, on like Encore or whatnot. But eBay, you can always find like the perfect buyer for an item.
So the Stunt Racer manual, this was, I think, the most expensive item we've sold so far on eBay. Is that right?
Panzer Dragoon Saga is the most expensive item we have on the eBay store, but the most expensive we've sold is the Stunt Racer manual.
Yeah, so we listed it for like $950. This thing came into the store. I paid, I think, a little bit too high on it. Probably paid like $700 for the game and manual. The manual just sold for $900 for an N64 manual.
Which is crazy.
$900. And to your point, if we had been like running a Whatnot stream and had just put that thing up for sale, it probably would have gone for like $100 or something, because you don't have that exact right collector that just needs that one piece to complete their N64 collection or whatever.
Oh yeah. With how eBay's set up, it is just like someone types in an item they're looking for just on Google. And a lot of the time it will take them to eBay first to find that item. So it's just perfect for just niche items, super odd collectible stuff that like, it's gonna be hard for us to find a buyer in the store, but like on eBay, like, oh, we can find a buyer in a week.
Yeah, one thing that we've definitely been dialing in is the photo setup. So originally, we were just listing things like as a flat lay. This was gonna be an example of a toy that actually didn't make the eBay cut, but we've been listing a bunch of toys on there that wouldn't go in store. We were just doing flat lays on the shipping station over there with a little wood background. Then what did we go to from that? It was like, oh, we had this thing draped over your...
Yeah, over my station over there, I ordered what I thought was like a good background. Like on Amazon, it looked good. Then it ended up being like some plastic like table tarp thing.
It looked like a folded up sheet.
It
that you
did.
just unfolded and it still had all the wrinkles in it.
Oh, it was awful, but it worked.
People are gonna ask, I know they're gonna ask, this is actually a 2 foot by 4 foot desk pad that like goes under your keyboard that we just tacked up into this photo box, and these listings have been looking incredible. The light is awesome. This light doesn't interfere with it at all because of the walls, and we got these little acrylic like little library book stands or whatever, and the photos have been looking way better.
And it's super funny because it feels like every Monday I come in and Caleb has done like an upgrade to the station without telling me. I'll just come in. Like the first day when the light station was up, I was surprised by it. I didn't even know he tacked up the mat, which is awesome. Thank you. I was just using Scotch tape for that.
Oh yeah, and it was falling down.
Yeah, and I just got the acrylic stand, so who knows what I'll have over here in like 2 weeks.
It looks like even in the last couple days since we started filming this section has grown a good bit. I actually have a couple ideas for how to further optimize this shelving situation a little bit more. So right now, this bottom shelf is like our unlisted. He's clearly doing a good job of getting through it as fast as possible. We just got a few items in this little box right here. And then you've got the large items that are listed.
Yep.
Right here that are stacked on one another, and then all of the different designations of like different consoles and stuff.
Yes.
I like the idea of eventually changing these boxes, because right now, even for the disc-based games, there's a little bit of margin there that doesn't really need to be there, and also the boxes aren't quite as long as I'd like them to be. Like there's probably 6 inches that we could take advantage of if it was a little longer and a little skinnier. I think we could go from, right now we only have 4 of these on each of these shelves. We could probably get like 6.
See, I've been wanting to like make these boxes bigger. I've been kind of experimenting with the Xbox shelf, like trying to get more like of these on here. The problem you run into is it's just kind of like an awkward like fit.
Yeah, but you can see this is a ton of the kind of inventory. Like who knows how many, like maybe years it would take to sell these Turbo Graphics 16 games. Even though like it's good stuff a lot, I think most of these are listed for over $20, right?
Yep.
They would likely never sell in store. So it's just been cool to have the ultimate collector platform as an out for literally everything that could come in the door. Like these are some of the toys. People don't normally go into a video game store looking for toys. Now these are video game related toys, so that helps. But from now on, if somebody came in with a few totes of toys, like we could make some offer on it knowing that we could just at least put them on eBay even if they're not likely to really sell there. I guess the biggest problem we're likely to run into at this point is keeping the inventory flowing.
Yeah, because I know last week one issue I was running into was like PS4, for example. This was just getting overfilled, where I'm having to like start to like kind of stack stuff on top. But inventory like is starting to move fast enough where it's not as big of a problem, but it definitely can be a problem, especially for just like some stuff that like might take a while to move. Like,
Yeah, I just realized we can reveal our 90-day total here for the people at home and our sell-through rate, which I think is even more impressive. I don't think I've talked about this. 13K, and our first sale was almost exactly 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So been going super well. Obviously, it really helps when you have a bunch of like valuable, fast-selling video game inventory to start with. So that's been great. But what I'm even more proud of is look at this: 256 active listings, 170 sold already in 2 weeks. That's largely a function, I think, of pricing competitively. We're trying to price at like 95% of sold comps, right? So that we're automatically the like cheapest listing already that people can go to, and we have best offer on everything. And I'm taking offers within like, 5, maybe 10% of asking price just to churn through this stuff as fast as possible. Don't want to be in the storage business. I want to be in the selling business, which I think is a big reason that by the end of this month, we will have an over 100% monthly sell-through rate. All right, so you had the flipper animal idea, and I made a few mock-ups.
Okay.
I want your reaction. How does that compare to like the controller?
I like animals more than inanimate objects. So yes, I do like
So
it.
you like it better. Okay.
I do like it better.
Option number 2, that's a
Okay.
pliosaurus.
Yeah. No, I like the dinosaur vibe. Ooh, he's thinking something nefarious. I don't like him.
You don't like the platypus.
He makes me feel bad. I don't like
Okay,
him.
there's dissension in the ranks.
Yeah. Really?
Most people really like the platypus.
Really?
So far.
I feel like he's up to no good.
Well,
He's hiding something.
this is
I
a
don't know
rendering.
what.
We could
I know,
make
I
him
know.
friendlier.
Well, I guess so.
You think this guy's better?
I think he's dope. I think he looks cool. Yeah. Now a platypi could be interesting.
Isn't platypus singular?
Yeah, and then platypi is plural.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just talking about the species.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they're really interesting. It's just like, I don't know, they got a lot of weird things. Like, aren't they venomous?
They are.
They're venomous and they lay eggs. I don't
It's
trust
not
that.
like a full analogy.
I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun.
This is serious. We got to lock in here.
I like the dinosaur, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 1 vote dinosaur, 1 vote phoenix.
Okay. I'm on the Phoenix train already.
Oh, you do like
Yeah,
the
that's
phoenix
like a
idea.
way cooler idea. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can put you into the phoenix column.
Sure.
All right. Aaron's going to be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Dear Caleb, have you thought about implementing a wish list system for your customers? A way to notify customers that you got a game or even a Pokemon card in stock that they are looking for. Could be a good way to move more high dollar items. Well, Chris, that is an excellent idea. One thing that I have realized about building a business in public is that there are no shortage of suggestions or aspects of the business that people are noting that we could improve. For example, a lot of folks have noted, hey, you really should make sure to get a security system in place, which we already have. Or you guys should really get some tinting film on the windows so that the UV rays don't come through and damage the artwork on your games, even though these windows have been tinted since the day we opened. Or in this case, we should implement a wish list system so that our customers have a better chance of actually getting the game they want, which actually has been a part of our point of sale system since the day we opened as well. Now, I actually don't read the comments much anymore, but sometimes my wife will be scrolling through them and see these suggestions from folks of solutions that we have already implemented, or even topics that we've talked about before, and she'll be like, oh, why do people not pay attention? But the reality is, all these folks like Chris and everyone else making suggestions, they're just trying to help us out. One of our biggest values around here is relentless progress, and I think that's a value that a lot of our viewers share. And anytime they can spot a potential pitfall for us or an area for improvement, I love that this community is very quick to share that. The reality is, I try to show as much stuff, as many aspects of this business as I possibly can in our week-to-week vlogs, but the business is changing so fast that a lot of stuff just doesn't get shown at all. Like, I don't think I ever had an explicit conversation about the security tinting window layer feature, which, by the way, when we had somebody crack the glass glass after the security tint was already on, it did its job so well that the person that came to replace the window actually struggled for like an hour just to get the window out of its frame. And unfortunately, if I did include every single conversation and development and decision that's being made for the business, even though fellow nerdy business owners like me would absolutely love it, it would probably result in a 2.5 hour long video every single week. And I don't know if most people would actually find that entertaining. But anyways, keep these suggestions coming because the team definitely reads all the comments, and every once in a while we'll get a really solid idea that actually changes how we operate.
So we received a package that fueled my childhood nightmares. I was terrified of this movie when I was a kid. It says it's for intake, but I don't know why we would have Stripe from the Gremlins as a part of intake. I'm actually kind of sad that it's not actually Stripe. I have a feeling it's just games in here. And whoever packed this whole thing full of games, like this has got to be the biggest submission I've ever seen in my life.
It's a big one.
It's huge. But I'm actually kind of sad that we don't have an actual replica of Stripe because he and Shina would almost be the same size, and I'd want to see Shina fight it.
And they have similar values.
What do you think, Caleb?
Oh my gosh, I'm 99% sure that's not on the hot list.
It's a 230 item submission. Holy cow. Look at all those games.
I mean, it's very well packed.
It is very well
honestly.
packed, yeah.
Extremely well packed. Good job.
More Black Ops, Deadpool.
What if it was all Gremlins games?
I'd be concerned as to who's collecting Gremlins memorabilia. I'd be concerned as to who's collecting
You can do
Gremlins memorabilia. I'm trying.
So guys, this is my first time here, but I've just been going through a bunch of intake over here. You know, you see a bunch of games randomly over here, but these 4 over here, these just came in, and look at this. It's crazy. Mario Party 3 over here, the best Mario Party. Do not at me. It looks really nice, really well taken care of, and a bunch of stuff here. Both of the Pokemon Stadium games, they look really nice too. The best thing about this one is it's complete, so it comes with the transfer pack. It has everything in there, looks pristine, and of course the best Pokemon spin-off game, Hey You Pikachu, of course. Got the microphone, everything. And yeah, this is just super cool.
So typically the first thing I'll do in the morning is come over here and just see if any items have sold. Typically it's gonna be like between like 5-10 items sold like during like the night. A lot of the time it's a lot more than that. Sometimes I'm surprised with how many items I have to send in. But first thing I do, I'll just end up printing off the label. I'll write down on a little post-it note what the item is, and then go from there and print off all my labels. And once I have all the labels printed off and everything, I'll go through the bins and then just pull the items that I have labels printed off for. Soul Sacrifice sealed for the PlayStation Vita. And then I'll just set that there, go off to the next one, and then just start collecting items. Next one, Go-Go Coco Polo. I think that's how you say that. Never seen this game before, but sealed, limited run. Typically, like on Encore or in the store, limited run stuff has always been like kind of hit or miss, depending on like what the item is. Not surprisingly, eBay, I have sold a crap ton of like the limited run stuff. So it's awesome that we can actually move it. But then we sell like traditional stuff, like we have a copy of Trapped here, kind of rare for PlayStation 2. Never played it before in my life. Then over here, all the magic happens. I'll throw a business card in the package along with the game, seal it, and put a label on it. And then I go put this over here. You can go. And then USPS picks up the packages, send them off. Typically for eBay stuff, either day of or day after an item's bought, we will send it off unless it's like a weekend where it'll kind of wait a little bit. But typically, like when someone buys something from our eBay store, we send it off super quickly. So very fast shipping. Check out our eBay store, please. Buy my Turbo Graphics games, please. I don't want to see them anymore.
All right, Aaron, focus group time. Number 1,
Okay, I like
Mr.
that
Seal.
one.
Number 2,
That's a clever one, okay.
Pliosaurus, classic. And number 3.
Yeah, I like that guy, I don't know why.
Everybody laughs when they see this one.
Yep.
What's your gut reaction about this versus like the video game related ones?
I feel like we went one with like video game related. Is it too touchy to be like, that be a very obvious GameCube be our mascot? I don't know if Uncle
Too touchy?
Yeah, Uncle N is gonna like us very much for that.
Well, Uncle N doesn't have to know. I don't think Uncle N
Yeah.
watches this channel.
I don't think he
And
cared,
also,
but
there's no logos.
that is true.
And it could be light green, which is not a color that the GameCube came in.
Who said GameCube?
Yeah, right. This isn't a GameCube. This is a Wamewood.
Yeah.
What do you think of video game iconography versus animal?
Yeah, I think it really just depends on how like you tie it all in together. Like I don't think that an animal mascot's like too far off for like a game store like this, especially depending on like how you put it in. Like, you know, if a monkey can play video games, right? Like
Yeah, I think it's a lot about the name.
the name. Okay.
Like the name is the tie-in, but thematically, if we did go with an animal, we could do like some sort of a, like he's holding a controller, or we could do like he's wearing a hat with some video game related thing on it, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's how we would want to go about it. What if it was like this guy, but picture him in a Quick Flips t-shirt?
I like the thumbs up. I kind of want to punch him in the face. Like
That's what Odin said. He says he doesn't trust him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I could kill that thing. You know what I, sorry.
What does
you're filming me, okay.
videographer editor Luke think?
I
Do you
like-
trust this guy?
I'm gonna say like he reminds me of like, I don't know if I trust the platypus, but I'd like still hang out with him. Like I'd catch a movie or like or something with him. I think the platypus is the winner for me right now.
Not the seal?
Oh, the seal's awesome though.
What about, oh, I forgot to also give you the other option, which is a phoenix that China suggested and Odin liked.
Okay, so the thing about a phoenix is we could like tie the main channel into our branding, but not necessarily like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a, you get it. Like,
yeah, it's almost like a nod to the people who are in, but it wouldn't necessarily exclude people who are out.
Yeah,
I just don't know how much I want to intermix the two.
We could always make you the mascot, and then that way people just walk in and you're here.
No, we can make you the mascot, and then when they walk in,
Yeah,
you're
and then
here.
when I show
How
up,
does
I'm
that
like,
feel?
it's me, Flippy. And then I
Oh
like
my god.
put my face out like that, and I'm like,
Okay, when we get the spring locking animatronic suits, we'll make sure that you get in there. How about that?
okay, yeah. It'll be like a finale.
Oh, that would be whatever we end up going with. We have like a big, we put someone in the Flippy suit.
Yeah.
And they're like outside, like sweating up a storm.
Yeah.
Like, we give them a big sign, Black Friday, buy
Quinn.
5, get 1.
Quinn.
Yeah, Quinn is built for the Flippy suit.
I threw him under the bus, dude. He's going 70 miles an hour down the interstate, and I just chucked him under there.
What I like about a platypus is that it's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be anything else. It's just in its own lane, which I do think kind of fits with our vision for the business in that way.
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to be the next GameStop because like they do a lot of crappy stuff. We want to lay our own eggs.
That's a good sell. I like that. But like a worm, like digging through the ground, you know, like a worm is doing its own thing. All it knows is to be a worm, you know?
That's true. I could do another mock-up if you want.
No.
Quick flip the worm.
The worm. April Fools. Change all the branding in the store to like a
We'd have to
worm.
figure something out to put him in a t-shirt because what's going to hold it up? It would just wriggle out of it.
Earthworm Jim.
That's kind of taken, isn't it? There are no platypus-related video games.
Earthworm Whim.
Okay.
Legally distinct cousin. Yeah, no. Okay.